Welcome in, everyone. I hope you're all doing well today. Today we're going to be doing a bit of a different stream from usual. Today we're going to be reading from Volume 1 of the Grimoire Anthology of Destiny, which is regarding the Hive and the darkness and the deals that they've made. Some better than others, depending on who you ask, but all in all, we're going to be learning a bit more than what you might know about the history of Destiny. So, naturally, we'll begin with Chapter 1, called A Book of Sorrow, which sorrow has quite a deep meaning with the Hive. Now, Chapter 1, A Book of Sorrow. What is this violent ritual, these tales of suffering, where all ends in a feast of maggots and rot laid on a wormwood table for gods to feast on misery? But is not the light also served by savage sacrifice? Accepted wounds, blood spilled on the dust of distant worlds? Life and death and life and death and life and death are locked in a battle that never ends. The cycle is the same. The pain is the same. We eliminate those who oppose the light. They annihilate those who do not worship the dark. In the end, only sorrow remains. Now, our first excerpt is verse 1, The Fundament. Dearest sister, it's taken me 2 years, a quarter of our lives, but I've found the proof. We aren't native to the fundament. Our ancient ancestors came here to hide. The plate of stone we live on, our osmium court, is one fragment of a rocky planet that crashed into the fundament and broke apart. All the other nearby continents, the helium drinkers, the Bowen Plaza, the star cutters, came from the same world. Perhaps the other races of the fundament are migrants too. We live on the shrapnel of our home world, floating on an ocean deep inside a gas giant. That's what Fundament must be. A titanic gas planet. The endless storm above us must be one layer of the atmosphere, and the sea we float on does much more down beneath it. So much more. You understand what this means, Sathona? The timid truth is a lie. We aren't meant to be the world's prey. We weren't born to live and die in the dark. We have a better destiny. Tell our father, Sister Sathona, this is the proof of his life's work. With love, for your second birthday, your first surviving sister, Aurash. Aurash, as some may know already, is the one who will become, in due time, Oryx, the Taken King. Because, as we're going to talk about Zero, there's 3 sisters, Aurash, Sathona, and Zero. But naturally, there were some designs that were put in place for them that even they didn't really plan for. Now, verse 1:1, Predators. Predators and menaces, carved to endure by Zero, third surviving sister of the Osmium King's last brood. A Stormjoy, A stormjoy is a living cloud. When it passes over our continent, it lowers its feeding tentacles. On each tentacle are the bait stars. Although light makes you happy, you must avoid it. You will be eaten. A stormjoy is a good way for an old person to choose death. Also, a daring knight can cut the bait stars from the tentacles. I have 6. Falling. If you fall off the edge of the continent, you will die in the ocean. This is a special hazard when our father, the Osmium King, uses the engines. Helium drinkers. The currents of the fundament ocean brings us near other continents. The helium court is near us now. They are of our species, but they are our enemies. Their knights raid us every day. Helium drinkers have 2 legs, 2 arms, and 3 eyes, just like us. But they are bright, evil. I want to be a knight and fight them. The helium drinker ambassador ate 10 of my sisters as tribute. This is normal. However, I resent it. Mothers. Mothers can fly. They live much longer than 10 years. Mothers are extremely smart, and they guard their spawn. If you try to tamper with the eggs, they will eat you. Sathona wants to eat the jelly and become a mother when she turns 4. Storms. The rain is often poisonous. Sometimes it dissolves flesh. When lightning misses the lightning farm, it can vaporize a person. This entire world is deadly to us. Mysteries. The fundament is very large. We are the smallest things in it. If you don't understand something, it will probably kill you. My teacher Theox says this is why we have such short lives, so we can read and adapt quickly. Moon waves. My sister Arash is afraid of moon waves. When she gets back from her expeditions to the tungsten monolith, I will ask her why. Next, we have the verse 1-2, the hateful verse. For the consideration of the Helium Court, written in desperation, this sealed secret. I am Theox, sterile mother, teacher to the children of the Osmium throne. As a mother, I live long. As a neuter, I can rise above the small battles of court politics. I alone see the patterns of survival. Alone, I designed the great engines that move the Osmium court. Alone, I must act to save my kingdom. Senility has claimed my lord the Osmium king. He is 10 and mad. The study of ancient text consumes him. Today, he raves about moons above the storm. Tomorrow, he will wander the halls, speaking to his familiar, a dead white worm from the deep sea. He keeps it in glass, and he tends to it, and he neglects the duties of a king. The Osmium king has 3 surviving heirs, each 2 years old. Zero, the youngest and bravest, who wants to be a knight. Sathona, most clever, who wants to be a mother. Aurash, navigator child who dreams of the infinite ocean. Tomorrow she will return from the tungsten monoliths. None of these are suitable heirs. None of them will protect the osmium court from the howling fundament. Zero can fight, but not lead. Sathona can think, but not fight. Aurash's curiosity will draw her away from duty. I fear for all future children. Soon, the Osmium King will lock himself into the royal orrery to study the moons. Gather your knights, O helium drinkers, and invade our continent. Kill the three heirs. I will roam the Osmium Court as your regent, and build engines for you. And if I fail, let the Leviathan in the deep eat me. Written in grief, this hateful request, Theox, Osmium Mother, neutered to watch. As we can see, Theox, who was supposed to watch over the three sisters, is the one who betrayed them, betrayed the entire Osmium court, and in doing so was pretty much the architect of everything that's been happening in Destiny, all the way to and past Witch Queen, as we'll see in a moment. Now, for the verse 1-3, the Oath. Sisters, this is how an oath is done. Put your left hands on the mast, close to mine. Take the knife in your right hand. Push it through your left hand, straight between the bones. Now, carve a bloodline down the mast. Speak your oath. I am Zero, youngest daughter of the dead king. I will take back my Osmium court and kill the traitor Theox. On my left eye I swear vengeance. In blood the oath is made. I am Sathona, middle daughter of the dead king. I will take back my home and eat the mother jelly. I will raise my spawn on the corpse of the Helium King. On my right eye, I promise this. In blood, the oath is made. Now, I will help make your oath, sister. I will help it too. I am Aurash, first daughter of the dead king. I will chase my father's last scream warning. I will know what changed the motion of our moons. If the end of the world is coming, I will understand why. On my center eye, I swear it, I will understand. In blood, the oath is made. In blood. Thank you, sisters. We have only my ship left to us, but a ship is freedom. We have secrets to hunt, storm-lit realms to explore, and great armies to raise. Put up the lightning sails, and we will voyage far. Now, we reach verse 1-4, Syzygy. The Syzygy, carved to endure by Aurash, the high vengeance. Only Zero's bait lets us escape. Only Sathona's tricks let us reach the coast. But now that we have my ship, I must lead the way. I am the navigator. We may never see our homes again. Zero seethes with hate and fury for Theox. But this is my deepest fear. Our civilization drifts on the fundament. At the Tungsten Monoliths, I learned that thousands of other species drift with us, coexisting on a vast world sea. And the tides of the fundament move us all. The timid truth says that we are the smallest, most fragile things alive, the natural prey of the universe. Teox would have us believe that our ancestors came to the fundament to hide from the hungry void. My father died afraid. Not of vile Teox or the helium drinkers, but of his orrery. He screamed to me, Aurash, my first daughter, the moons are different, the laws are bent. And he made the sign of a syzygy. Imagine the 52 moons of Fundament lining up in the sky. It wouldn't take all 52, of course, just a few massive moons, but this is my deepest fear. Imagine their gravity pulling on the Fundament Sea, lifting it into a swollen bulge. Imagine that bulge collapsing as a syzygy passed, a wave big enough to swallow civilizations. A god wave. I have to find a way to stop it, before the god wave annihilates my species. If I could only get back into my father's orrery, I could learn exactly when. Now, there's a little bit more, so we'll get to what I want to say in a second. We are weeks of travel and many continents away from home. When I'm paralyzed by fear, Zero sits in the cabin with me and comforts me with soft, brave words. But more and more, we have come to rely on Sathona's wit. She will go off to be alone, she insists she must be alone, and return with some mad idea. Steer into the storm, throw down a net, eat that strange beast, explore that menacing wreck. Somehow, Sathona seems to manufacture good luck by sheer will. Now, as we've learned in the Witch Queen, the Hive, or the Krill as they are called so far, were tricked into following Sathona, who, as we will learn very soon, used their father's worm, through which the witness spoke to them and guided them to its own designs. And as for the syzygy, the god wave, all of that, if you have read some of the Destiny lore, you will know that planets like Titan, during the collapse, have undergone the same fate, god wave, because the darkness used some kind of gravity weapon, which basically pulled the planet into an oval and then just released in one go, which just caused the entire oceans of liquid helium to just destroy everything on their path. And I hear Raven at the door trying to be let in, so I'll just let her in and then we'll continue with verse 1.5, Needle and Worm. Thank you, Raven. You done? Thank you. Now then. Yeah, very nice jump, Gummy. Now, verse 1.5, Needle and Worm. My secrets, carved in my code by Sathona, the right eye of vengeance. 1. This year of wild voyaging, these lightning nights and golden days, these forays into ancient wrecks and wind-blown flights from monsters, these are the happiest times of my life. 2. I want to be a mother, not because I want to spawn, but because I want a long life. Long enough to make a difference. We have been at sea a year, and I am afraid we will die out here. I know where to find secrets. 3. I know where to find secrets. I know where vast, slow things with long memories live. 4. The Needle Ship. Which those vast, slow things with long memories were probably the worm gods that we will find in a moment. The Needle Ship, carved in my code by Sathona, a liar. 1. We salvaged the needle from the Shrubi maelstrom. I knew it would be there. 2. The needle is a grey ship, as long and slender as hope, as unbreakable as time, and old. Older than death. It tumbled through the maelstrom before our ancestors crashed into the fundament. This is not a sea ship like Arash's. It is an artifact of high technology, which needle is a grey ship, long and slender. I'm kind of guessing that it might be some kind of darkness ship from way back, potentially, which would make sense with how they were tricked by the witness. 3. I know its purpose. I know what happened to the crew. 4. Zero wants to sell the ship at Kauhan Atoll, where species gather. At auction, it would earn us wealth to hire mercenaries. We could retake our osmium court and send the baby-eating helium drinkers screaming into the ocean. 5. But I told Zero the ship was worthless. 6. Arash wants to open the ship and see if we can take command of it. I know this is the right thing to do. I know, because I asked the worm. The worm, carved in my code by Sathona, who should be afraid. 1. It was my father's familiar. I ripped it from him as we fled. It is a dead white thing, segmented, washed up from the deep sea. It's dead, but it still speaks to me. It says, "Listen closely, O vengeance mine." Now, this form of speaking with the prefix O and suffix mine is usually given to the Ahamkara in a way to trap whatever wields them or possesses them or uses them, whatever you will. But this is not an Ahamkara. This is a worm from the worm gods, probably one that was implanted by Rulk after he came to Fundament and spoke with the worm gods and made a deal on behalf of the witness. But naturally, the worm gods like to fashion themselves dragons, despite the fact that they are anything but. So it would make sense that they would try to use this kind of speech. Now we get to verse 1-6. Sisters. A register of tokens and gestures exchanged before the end of sisterhood. 0, my brave sister, you have worked too hard to move the carcass out of the birthing room. Come. Steer the ship for a while. Take joy in what our needle can do. 0 tried to protest, but secretly she was so glad for Arash's care. She flew the needle ship in cutting circles, down beneath the sea, and their wake rose up to the surface like a traitor's dying breath. Arash, lonely navigator, we have traveled so long with only each other. I know you love to hear and speak new tongues. Come, Sit in the flesh garden room. I will read you these stories I bought at Kahan. Arash sat among the mummified flesh vines with two of her eyes closed and listened in silence to Sathona's stories, hungry to understand, voracious to know as much as she could before her 10-year life died. Sorry. Later, Zero said, Sathona, cutting mind of ours, you grow lonely in your thought. Play swords and lanterns with me. But Sathona was heavy with sorrow and couldn't pretend any joy as she chased Zero through the needle's glistening halls.